100,000. That's how many Ukrainian refugees escaping the war the president says the United States will allow into our country. But there are a lot of specifics you need to understand. First, the administration believes most Ukrainian refugees want to stay closer to home in Europe, not necessarily come all the way over here. But the White House says it's important for us to make the offer in solidarity with the same offers being made by our European partners. Second, not all of these refugees will be admitted to the United States this fiscal year or through the specific refugee program. They could also come through humanitarian parole, which does not come with a pathway to citizenship, or through the immigrant or non-immigrant visa program. For the record, the administration and Congress has set the annual refugee cap for the year 2022 at 125,000 refugees. As of the last official report at the end of February, the U.S. has taken in about 6,500 refugees this fiscal year. We'll get updated numbers in the next few days. The White House says it's unnecessary to increase the refugee cap above 125,000 for all the reasons I just mentioned. Third, the White House has prioritized certain refugees, those seeking reunification with family already in the United States, women, children, LGBTQI+ people, journalists, and those with disabilities. President Biden also talked about the release of $1 billion of humanitarian aid. The White House says that money will be used to build on the U.S. humanitarian response team on the ground in Ukraine and provide the Ukrainian people with food, trauma care, medicine, and basics like blankets and personal hygiene products. Today marks exactly 1 month since Russia invaded Ukraine, and a lot has happened in just the last 24 hours, so let's get you up to speed. The president is now on his way to Poland after a full day of meetings with the NATO allies, the G7, the European Union leaders, and even Ukrainian President Zelensky in Brussels. The president said NATO discussed establishing a larger military footprint in Europe, in addition to the now 100,000 U.S. forces already there. They also discussed significant NATO humanitarian aid for Ukraine, and President Biden announced the U.S. acceptance of 100,000 Ukrainian refugees. I talked all about it in this video earlier today. Another big NATO topic of conversation, the possible use of chemical weapons by Russia against the Ukrainian people. The U.S. has been running response scenarios through a very specialized team called a Tiger Team for a while, and President Biden says if Vladimir Putin actually deploys chemical weapons, NATO allies would respond. How? All Biden would say publicly is the nature of the response would depend on the nature of use. Does Russia deserve to be part of the G20? President Biden made news today when he said no. Of course, that must be voted on, but if Russia isn't removed, the president said Ukraine should at the least be able to attend the meetings. The White House, G7, and European Union have also sanctioned an additional 400 Russian elites, members of the Russian legislative body called the Duma, and Russian defense companies. The president reiterated again, sanctions are not meant to immediately deter Putin. They're meant to punish Russia over time. This is a long game. Speaking of a long game, we're already a month into this war, and the U.S. National Security Advisor just said this war will not end easily or rapidly.